Hello there and welcome. Today I want to tackle what I think is a really important question for many acoustic guitar players. Is it worth getting a custom handmade guitar to your specifications, or should you stick with the big brands, you know, your Martins, your Taylors and your Gibsons of the world? And what's it actually like getting in touch and talking with a luthier about your physical and musical needs? I am really excited about this one because we are going to be talking with master luthier Isaac Jang to find out exactly his process of ordering a guitar and also general questions that you would want to know when spending so much money, because you know you are putting a lot of faith and a lot of trust in a luthier to build you a guitar that you haven't seen or played. Yes, granted, if you're lucky, and you can't always, you can play one of their other guitars if there's one in stock, or you know you've found one, but that isn't the case. So there is a lot of trust involved in this process. I'll also be sharing some insights on my own personal experience of speccing one of Isaac's guitars, as I have one as my daily driver, and I'll let you know how you can hear some sound comparisons between my custom made guitar and a Taylor and a high-end Martin as well. So first of all, why would you actually want to buy a custom made guitar that, again, you haven't actually played? Well, imagine this scenario. You know, you're in one of the big guitar shops, or whatever's left of them. That's a whole different topic. A sad one as well. Say, you know, you love the look, you know, very shiny Taylor, beautiful shimmering sound, but you know, maybe the neck's not quite the right shape, or maybe you want, you know, you want a cutaway and the guitar doesn't actually have one, but everything else you would keep the same. With a handmade guitar, almost anything is possible. You've got body size, body shape, inlays, cutaways, you've got bevels, you've got custom artwork, you've got different Tonewoods, even custom scale lengths, you name it. The sky's kind of the limit. Well, the limit being your budget and the luthier's skills, I suppose. This opens up a whole new world which you don't get to see in traditional music shops, the custom-made guitar. So, is it worth it? Before we get to that question, let's hop on a call with the legend that is Isaac Jang himself and see what actually goes into speccing and ordering a custom-made guitar. Oh, and quick disclaimer, some absolute banana. I mean me, because I'm the only one here making this video, didn't actually record the meeting correctly. I forgot to record it on the computer screen. So luckily, I set up a little camera and recorded the actual screen with a camera. So if the actual quality of the video is a bit suspect, that'll be why. But it's still an awesome interview and some really interesting questions were answered. So enjoy. So I just kind of wanted to start with a little bit of context, just to say how we first met, because I haven't actually chatted to you with my voice since 2018 when I picked up my guitar,
right,
that you built. Obviously we've chatted on Instagram and stuff, but yeah, not like this. So just for anyone watching, we first met in 2018 at the Holy Grail guitar show in Berlin. And you built me a guitar to my kind of specifications that I'd ordered through a showroom in London that isn't now there. It's moved to the States, I think. It was the North American Guitar, but it's now Carter Vintage. I don't know.
And it's a much bigger company, bigger shop. Yeah, they do all sorts of stuff there now. Have you been? Yeah, I actually visited them a couple years ago before their move, but I got to spend some time with Ben and Kim, who is now sort of handling all the sort of luthier built guitars.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we spent good time there, but I did see their newer and now showroom, which is a lot bigger and really well presented.
Nice.
So,
yeah, I've seen online.
Beautiful spot.
Yeah, it looks like a beautiful spot. I've never obviously been because it's quite a long way for me to go, sadly. And it's kind of mean that there's not really a home for high-end acoustic guitars in London as much. Although I think there's a new company called the Six String Collective have started.
Yeah, and Richard was actually one of the I think shop managers at the North American Guitars.
Yes, he was. So that's kind of cool that he's actually carried on with that. But anyway, that's kind of how we met. You were delivering me my guitar that I have now used for probably thousands of hours. But it's too many hours to count. It is. But
Amazing.
my first kind of question for you, which I think will be useful for people thinking about like getting in touch with a luthier, is would you say from a builder's perspective there is like a minimum amount going in that somebody should know about kind of guitars? Like, should they have an understanding of like Tonewoods and like how different woods sound, or like body shapes, or is it enough to just say to you, I want to play mainly fingerstyle or something for strumming, and then you kind of guide from there?
Okay. My take is that most of the clients who come to me have already spent some hours on the internet looking through all the information as much as possible, because I think by the time they come to luthiers, it's generally they've already spent some time looking at the mainstream manufacturers' guitars, as well as some of the higher ends, and then they will look at, oh, there are individual guitar makers that are just making their own name, and so usually they have some idea about some of the tone wood and how they sound and behave, but that's sort of the general observation that I have. But when they come to me, they don't really have to have any information besides their playing style and their sound that they're looking for.
Yeah.
So that usually would give me enough idea or understanding to help navigate together, because at the end of the day, as a player, you're not really looking at the wood back and sides sort of as your main interest, but whether you want the instrument to play to how you want it, to your playing style. And I think anything that's outside of that can be more of a preference. And if you're into any high-end woodworking, that's also part of that. But generally speaking, I'm here to serve musicians to their playing needs and wants. So that's usually always been my number one priority. And then anything else comes sort of as a secondary. It comes to aesthetics and other visual aspect of it.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, anybody could come to me as long as I have an understanding of what their playing style is. But in reality, most of the people come to me with some knowledge about wood, and they already have a few guitars that they experienced or they've gone through. So they, it kind of gives them some reference point where to start.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's interesting, because I think you're right. Probably if somebody is looking for a custom made guitar, it's not going to be their first guitar, so they are going to have some experience with that kind of thing. But yeah, no, that's good to hear your perspective on that. So with the factory made guitars, would you do you ever get people saying kind of like, oh, I love the Martin, like the tone of a Martin, but I don't like, for example, the neck shape? Do you ever get people kind of trying to say, oh, I really want it to be like this, but with a modification? Or is it more people like really specifically wanting something much more unique kind of thing?
So whenever I get an inquiry, whether I build a guitar for them or not, one of the first questions that I start to ask is, what is their current go-to guitar? And that gives me a reference point. And from there, we could continue on a conversation about what they're looking for. So some people have already gone through different Martins, or say, many Gibsons or Collings, and they are absolutely fantastic instruments, in my opinion. They serve different purposes, and they have different color in their sound.
Yeah.
And I think it's just more of a reference point than to say I want the exact same guitar but just have a different customization. That's kind of rare to me. It's more like they just want to be able to navigate and see what I offer. And especially at this point in my career, people already have some awareness of what I am pursuing in the sound and playability. So it's kind of a rare to me that they want a replica just with different modification, but rather it's kind of a, they would, when they describe sound to me, they are using some of those guitars as a reference point. And that's pretty more common.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think if you're going to be like getting in touch with a luthier, it's probably kind of on you to do some research first and kind of see what the luthier's sound is and what kind of thing they're going for. Because obviously if you wanted a Martin but with a different neck shape, then I guess you'd probably ask the Martin custom shop to build that guitar as opposed to someone like yourself. So yeah, there is an element of people need to do their homework and not just put everything onto you as a luthier.
Yeah, and I think that's usually sort of gives I think in an overall picture that makes it a much better experience, I think. Also, I mean, kind of the money that one would be spending on different luthiers, you would sort of, you're working close to more like an individual basis. So it just makes it more sense that way.
Okay, cool. So say if you've kind of got a client and you've chatted through kind of what they want out of the instrument musically and maybe physically as well, like ergonomically. Would kind of I remember with my guitar, you kind of sent me some different pictures of like different wood options because you were like, I think we decided on Coca-Cola rosewood with mine, and you had like a few different sets. Is that something you still do? Do you send out like a few different options for the aesthetics or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So especially when it comes to back and sides, I like to offer different options, and depending on the species, and usually before I even start offering these wood pictures, I would have a discussion about what their sort of tonal goal or pursuit is. And then we would sort of decide and also talk about the overall budget for the project. Then we would explore different options. So at that point, we would say, okay, if it's Cocobolo, then I have different sets of Cocobolo. They are within the perimeter of what I find to be in the good sounding wood. Then I would pick out a few sets for my clients to choose from. So that's typically what I offer. When it comes to the soundboard, which is a top of the instrument, that's usually up to me. As in, like if we talk about, you're looking for a certain quality, playability, that all comes into play, then I would suggest a few different species. Say like if it's German spruce, Italian spruce, or like Adirondack red spruce. And once we decide on the species, then I would say, you know what, just give that freedom for me to choose for that sound, because top is much more sensitive to changes. So I would have to just kind of go through all of them and then see what would fit the best for that playing for the player or the characteristic for the player.
No, that's fair. Leave the more technical, important side to the luthier. I think that's fair enough. But I mean, I think it is great for as a client, I suppose, or somebody looking to buy a guitar, to be able to see, and choose what pattern you're going to get on the back is quite an exciting experience, which I know I very much enjoyed when you built mine. And even more so seeing kind of the process unfold, because you uploaded a couple of pictures to Instagram, which is very nice, because I'm sure you're very busy building, but it's very exciting to see the guitar come to life. So is that Is that also something that you do, like kind of send pictures along the way so people can kind of come along the journey, or do you prefer to keep it more in-house kind of thing and only send pictures at the end?
I try to share some in progress pictures as much as I could. But some days my hands are always full. My hands are always covered in dust. So that always means, so every time I take a picture, that means I have to really just kind of make sure I stop everything and then, just make sure that it looks presentable. Because sometimes I'm just literally just covered all in dust, and I'm like, I can't just like hold my camera and start taking pictures. So I have to sort of prep myself and then make it look at least somewhat presentable. Even though most of the people just would like to see as is, but generally speaking, I still want to clean up some stuff, clean my bench, at least, move, put things away and then make it look more presentable. So I try to do that, and I enjoy doing it because that's part of my documentation as well.
Yeah.
But some days I just sort of lose track of it. I was like, it's already done. So sometimes I forget to do it, but generally I like to at least make some few checkpoints and then document it and share it with my clients, or just put it on social media.
Yeah, you do. You seemed, I think you must be a bit of a photographer, because your pictures you put on Instagram are always very, very nicely shot. So I don't know if that's you or somebody, excuse me, but they're very shiny, and honestly, it makes me want another one. But
well, we can always do it.
yeah. Anything for a price. Anything for a price.
And even with the photography work, it's kind of once you get into this rabbit hole, it becomes an obsession, right? So I only started doing my own photography because I realized I want to be able to present my guitar in the best ways that I could sort of envision. So before that, I used to just take it to my photographer for my studio shots. But at some point, I just wanted to take that over. So I just picked up a camera and then start learning how to shoot. And of course, you get into it. I'm also a gearhead, so I just kind of started to buy a bunch of stuff. I'm like, oh man, this is getting really expensive, but it's always been very enjoyable on top of building guitars.
Yeah.
So.
No, I don't think the obsession for buying gear and kind of trying to get things right yourself isn't limited to like one particular niche, like guitar playing or guitar building. As soon as you get it in your head, like cameras, you're like, well, I guess I'm going to have to buy all of the camera gear now, or maybe I need one piano, so I need two now. I need two, or it's one of those curses that you have, I think, as a creative person, but it is worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so another thing that I think is really nice about kind of custom made guitars is you get some more unique kind of customizations, like you, for example, I know you do. You'll have to excuse my pronunciation because I'm not 100% sure how to say it. Is it the Uchida the bend away?
Yeah, you got it 100% right there.
Oh, okay. I was really nervous then, but yeah. So there's like things like that, and the Manza wedge as well, and also stuff like custom inlays and artwork, which I don't think you can get. I don't know if Martin or Taylor or anyone like that or Gibson has ever done a guitar with a Manza wedge, or if that's something they offer at their custom shop. I don't think it is, but someone can double check that. But is there do you have a favorite kind of customization that you like to do, like the Manza wedge with the bend away, or I don't know if you do like sound ports or custom artwork?
Yeah, there are features that I like for different reasons, and I don't typically like to do things that are that don't really serve any purposes. So everything for me, my mentor as well, Kathy Wingert, always emphasized on form follows function. And part of the idea for the Uchida Bandaway, and for those of you who don't really know about it, it's in a sort of bent instead of actually having like a cutaway. It looks like a full shape body, but it has a little bit of a twist on the body, and that comes from Mr. Uchida in Japan. He's done this design very elegantly, and when I saw this idea, I asked him for permission, and he gave his full blessing to it. And what that allows, what I think allows for my guitars is that it kind of gives the as much of the air, the body volume, without the compromise of the sound quality, but also it allows you to get an extra few frets, access to the upper frets. So that is part of the idea that I like, and then also some of the aesthetics is a nice accent. So it gives like a very visually pleasing sort of elements to the guitar. And then similar with the Manzer wedge, Linda Manzer, who is one of my heroes, and she also gave a blessing to use her design. And that is, for those of you who don't know, it's a taper body. So from your bass side of the guitar to the treble side, it has a very different width. And what that allows is, as a player, the guitar feels like it's a smaller body guitar, but without losing the sound, because you're offset by your treble side width. So your treble side gets wider, so that you have a much better offset body, and gives you that full overtone series, as well as the volume that it needs to get, and the ergonomic comfort that players could fully enjoy.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are some of the things that I was inspired and I wanted to implement on my guitars. They take a long time, but it's, I'm not here to make an efficient production guitar. For me, it's all about what makes me happy, and obsession, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's the beauty of the custom guitar. That's kind of what you what you pay for. And yeah, it was nice to hear some extra information about how you like to use the Manzer wedge and Uchida Bandaway as well, because they're often the ones that I think that I see most on your Instagram, that I think stand out for me anyway. And the
Thank
other,
you for noticing that.
yeah, I mean they're very cool. I mean, I don't think I have either on my guitar, but I have the full cutaway on my guitar. So, but the other thing, just one more question on the customization, because like custom inlays and artwork. Now, I seem to, if my knowledge is correct, most luthiers don't do their own kind of custom, like the artwork that you see on necks and headstocks. They usually send that out to other people to do. Is that correct for you? Do you get other people in to kind of work on that?
Yeah, it's sort of I don't typically do much of inlays on my guitars. I kind of usually pursue more like understated look. And if I were to do a sort of inlay work, it'll be a collaboration with an inlay artist, generally speaking. But for your guitar, because we have this curved fret markers for your fingerboard, that was something that I figured, we already have the design elements sort of in place, because we sort of discussed that. And I figured that's within my comfort level of doing the inlay, that I wanted to sort of make it myself. So that is something that I went ahead and did it. But generally speaking, any kind of inlay work, I usually work with different artists who do that as their sort of daily career. Daily job, and they do fantastic job. So I usually like to do that much preferably.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah, I thought that's quite interesting to know. But it's such a specialist. It's such a different skill than the kind of guitar building process, that it's a collaborative thing with another artist as well. which is interesting.
Yeah.
So if we imagine that we've kind of spec'd out a guitar now, we've kind of agreed on the woods and any kind of customizations like the Man's Wedge, any custom artwork. Kind of, I think it'd be interesting to know like what happens next. Like I know this seems probably like a very basic question for you, but like how does do you take a deposit, and like how long does it take for the guitar to actually, go from you to me?
Sure. Sure. So typically on my end of schedule, I have several years of queue. So once we establish the grounds, then I would have a client to send me a deposit, a design consultation fee. And so that would secure their place in my build schedule. And about a few months before or along the way, if there are any things to be discussed or any ideas to be shared, we would put notes on it. And by the time I start your queue, I've probably collected all the information that I need. And I would reach out and say, hey, your guitar is starting. Let's just confirm these details. And we would go from there. So once all the details are confirmed, then I would start moving forward with the actual build process, like joining the wood, gluing, and start bending the sides, get the actual construction started.
Yeah, that's cool. And how long do you personally normally take to kind of actually, when you've started building it, how long does it take for you to finish a guitar?
So if I start something today, I usually give myself about 3 to 4 months to finish, and that's anywhere from all the woodwork to all my final finish work that I do. I apply my own finish using nitrocellulose lacquer, so that takes several weeks to complete. But by then, the guitar is shiny. Then moving forward with the setup work, get the strings are all up on there, and then the string needs to be up for at least few days to a couple of weeks before I could actually finalize everything, and then it'll be ready to be shipped out. Cool.
Yeah, I guess it's the main wait is your kind of waiting list, waiting to actually start the build, but it's not too long to actually build a guitar, but worth knowing, because if we're comparing custom builds with factory builds, obviously you go to your guitar shop, you pick up said guitar and you leave with guitar, whereas when you want something a bit nicer, you do have that wait, which is good to know. And something which I also thought would be very interesting to know would be kind of shipping, especially as UK based and you're in the States. Kind of as soon as in my head I hear flying with a guitar, I'm instantly terrified for my guitar's safety. I don't want to have to write another United Breaks Guitars single. I don't know if you've seen that song, but I don't want United Breaks Isaac Jang Guitars, the single, to have to be released. So
right.
I mean, it might be a good song, you never know, but so when you kind of ship a guitar internationally, or I suppose across the States, because it's so huge compared to the UK, would that be fully insured if somebody, the delivery company did snap it in half or something awful? Do you have kind of insurance in place for that?
So all that usually comes down to, once it leaves my shop, it'll be the responsibility of the buyer. And I believe that's sort of consistent with any other manufacturers. Once you purchase the shipping, you pay the shipping, and usually it has to be insured. And although a lot of the companies, the shipping insure amount might not be high enough, but generally speaking, that's how it gets handled. So the buyer usually have to have their own insurance, or get it insured through the carrier. And so in case anything happens, then we'll have to make a claim, and basically get a new guitar made. But thankfully, I haven't really had any shipping incident so
Yeah.
far in my career. But it is, I mean, every time it's still terrifying. I mean, sometimes I have to fly out with the guitar
Yeah.
overseas. Sometimes I ship it out, but that's you know,
Mm.
there's always chance, right?
Yeah. I think if it was up to me, I'd be buying it a guitar, the seat next to me on the plane. Just like put it on the plane. So
Yes.
then
Hmm.
there's no chance of anything happening. Like fly out, get it, and get that sorted. Obviously, with mine, I think it was okay because the North American guitar were handling that side of it for me
Uh-huh.
personally, so it wasn't as much of an issue. But
Nice.
yeah, that's something
Yeah.
I would probably personally recommend if you
Hmm.
get a guitar made. And also it's really nice to hang out with the person that made your guitar and see the workshop where it came to life. I think that's quite a special moment,
Uh-huh.
if you're lucky enough to do it. I haven't visited you yet, but I would absolutely love to one day.
Oh, yes, please. You're welcome anytime. And also to note that whenever I'm doing well, now I do it on all my guitars, but I basically include a custom flight case
Hmm.
for my guitars.
Yeah.
So that helps with a lot of the impact protection, and the way I pack my guitars for any of the shipment. I try to make sure, especially where the weak spot is the headstock.
Hmm.
So whenever there's any impact, there's a whiplash on the headstock, and that's where most of the guitars have suffer any damage.
Yeah.
Unless it was like just I don't know, unless it was like just dropped from like 100 meters
Yeah.
top
Yeah.
airline. That's a whole different.
Yeah.
That's very rare. But generally speaking, yeah, when you have a good case, well packed, then it'll most likely survive any damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I would say I've used your guitar that you made me. I don't know how many hundreds of gigs, and also teaching on hundreds of days, and yeah, many hundreds
Wow.
hours of practice. It's been everywhere, but it's either been in the hard case that you supplied or like a mono gig bag, and it's. I mean, I can't fault it. It's like always in tune, no matter where I go. It doesn't go out of tune. The intonation's always great. The action is very consistent, unlike, a lot of my other guitars when the seasons change. So not that this is an advert for you, but I am also a big fan. So maybe it is I'm not saying this just to be nice, but it is. It's a great instrument. So it's not something that has
It's
to
great
be.
to hear that.
Yeah, it's not something that has to be babied, like just because it's so expensive and a custom made guitar doesn't mean it can't be put through its paces, like as a professional instrument kind of thing.
Well,
So
that's one of the things I make all my clients promise is that I ask them to make it not look like it was shipped out from my shop by the time I see it next time, because I wanted the guitar to be played,
Yeah.
not just kept in a display case, right? I mean, I spent so many hours making it sound good and play well that I want to make sure that it actually gets used.
yeah,
And I think you're doing it. I think at this point, you know the guitar more than I do.
yeah,
Just at the sheer amount of hours you spent on it. So
yeah. No, I think we did briefly chat. I will let you go soon. I know this is going on a bit long, but yeah, it does feel like an extension of my expression as a guitar player, which is it's quite special. It's not something I take for granted, having an instrument that you can. Whatever you want to say, it's kind of there with you, which I haven't always had with other guitars. They've been very good at certain things, but like 90% of what of genres that I want to play, unless it's something specific like gypsy jazz, which needs a very specific sound, which even then, to be honest, sometimes I still use it because I like it.
wow.
But yeah. Oh, cool. So last question then, and because I'm sure you're very busy, and that is like with warranty stuff. Like, do your guitars come with a warranty once they're delivered? And I guess if a warranty claim did have to be done, like I'd have to get that back to you, or would you allow kind of a local luthier to take a look as well?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. So my warranty is extended to the original owner
Hmm.
of the instrument. So you'll be the recipient or the warranty holder, and my warranty covers anything that's defective from the craftsmanship point of view. Anything that has sort of the wear and tear components to it, like the frets, finish, anything like that, is not covered. But what I offer is, especially on a first year or two when you want to get a good setup on an instrument, because playability and the setup is very customizable, it's very personable. So if most of the people, I recommend actually uh, developing a relationship with your local guitar repair person, because they are going to be the one who's close to you and know your playing style for any specific setup. So I allow a setup cost to that setup. So that would be more like a courtesy setup allowance. But anything for the warranty would be if the neck has an issue or the bridge is lifting or something like that, that would be all covered under lifetime warranty uh, as long as I am working as a luthier, which I tend to be doing this for a long time. So
Yeah.
but of course, the shipping cost sometimes it can be a little bit more extensive because you are in the UK, I'm in the US, but here in the US, that shipping cost is more manageable
Yeah.
depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to stand behind my work as much as I could.
Yeah. No.
And,
That's great. I know
Yeah.
you've been very generous with your time with me, like talking to my local luthier, Alex Bishop, about kind of getting things. Like when I have questions about stuff, you've been very
Great
nice.
dude, yeah.
Yeah. No, he's a good dude. He's a good dude.
And he does a beautiful work, and he makes beautiful instruments himself.
Yeah,
And,
he does.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean that was kind of all I wanted to ask you today. I feel like I should let you get back to work. But yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time to chat to me about stuff. I'm sure you've answered many of these questions before, but it was very nice to chat to you, and also for you to kind of take the time to support me in making this video, and I really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Anytime, and if you have any additional questions or curiosity, I'll be all ears, and yeah, you let me know.
I will do. But yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, it's been a real pleasure, and I hopefully I'll come out and see you at some point with the guitar.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Nice. And if I ever come up to the UK,
yeah.
I'll be happy to hit you up.
Please do.
Nice.
I'll happily come hang out somewhere. So yeah.
Sounds good.
Thanks,
man.
Lewis. Yeah, lovely to chat to you, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. Have a good night.
Cheers, man. See you later. Bye.
See ya.
Well, that was incredibly insightful, wasn't it? I found that fascinating. I feel like Isaac's answers really helped clear up a lot of the mystery around ordering custom acoustic guitars. And I think there are a few key takeaways I'd kind of like to reiterate here as well. When starting a conversation with a luthier, I think you need to go in with a very clear idea for what you want to use the guitar for. Are you finger picking? Are you strumming? Are you flat picking? Or, a combination of all of those things. You don't need to know every technical detail of guitar building because, that's the luthier's job. And the luthier will help guide you with different specs of the guitar with what you tell them. So communication is very, very key. It's a team effort. It's a give and take. The more you can tell them about what you're planning to do with the guitar, the better informed decisions they can make when actually building. Every luthier's instrument has its own sound, so make sure you do your research and pick a luthier that inherently makes guitars in a style that you actually like. A zebra can't become a zebra? A zebra? Am I American? A zebra? A zebra can't become a horse just because you've asked it to. Now, a big thing I think as well to know is if you're in a shop buying a guitar, you like a guitar, you give shop money, they give you case, guitar in case, off you go. Custom made guitars, no, it's a handcrafted instrument, and that kind of love and attention takes time. Somebody's got to chisel out and is, scooping away at the curves of your instrument here. So give them some time. Wait times could be months, it could be years potentially, so do bear that in mind. And finally, these guitars are made to be played. They are works of art and they are very special, and people do collect them, but I think if my guitar is anything to go by, hang on. If my guitar is anything to go by, it's proof that you know, just because it's custom and handmade doesn't mean it's delicate and it's going to fall apart if you gig it. My guitar has done hundreds and literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of gigs. It's done hundreds of hours of guitar teaching and probably more of me sat alone in a dark room playing weird scales for the fun of it. And it's rock solid. You know, the action doesn't change that much with the seasons. It's never really had a huge issue, or never really, it's never had any issues with it at all, and it is loved and played. Now, of course, talking about tone and hearing tone are two very different things. So in the next video, to stop this one becoming ridiculously long, I will be doing some sound examples between my custom guitar and Martin and Taylor, as I mentioned earlier, so you can actually hear the difference between these guitars, and maybe I'll also talk about the playability of them, because you know, you can't magically feel my hands through a camera, so I'll chat a little bit about that. A huge thank you to Isaac. Thank you, Isaac, for giving his time and chatting through things which, you know, is his everyday life and giving us such a wonderful insight into his world. He is genuinely a very nice guy, so please do go check out his work on Instagram and his website. Some of the photos he takes are sensational. They are enough to make you dribble on your phone, and I have done many times, so definitely go give him a follow and some likes. If you've liked what you've seen or heard, then please do consider dropping a comment if you have any experience with custom-made guitars versus factory guitars, maybe giving us a like, and even consider subscribing, as I've got plenty more videos on the way and it'd be great to have you along for the ride. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.